You are listening to the PraiseWorks Health and Wellness Network. Our broadcast host will take you on a journey of total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit. All the content aired on this network have been copywritten and are protected by federal copyright laws. All duplications and or rebroadcasts of any show on this network must have the expressed written permission of the network owners. The claims and views presented on this network are not necessarily the view and opinions of the network owners. Take a moment every day to look in the mirror and smile, for do you not know that your body houses the Holy Spirit who is in you, a gift from God? You are not your own and have been purchased by God, so honor Him with your body as you take a journey of total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit.
Welcome to the Wellness Journey with Lynnis of PraiseWorks. Our program will show you the fun and simplicity of wellness. You can achieve total wellness through holistic practices and fitness. Join us now as we talk to the experts in the field of total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit. Here's Lynnis.
Hi, this is Lynnis of PraiseWorks, and welcome to the Wellness Journey. We are so glad that you've decided to spend some time with us and find out things that can help you arrive to total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit. As we talked about before, there's an important balance that you need to have in terms of approaching total wellness. You want to make sure your mind is intact, that your spirit is uplifted, and that your body is fit and sound. And we're so glad to have guests with us on the Wellness Journey that come on and share with us their expertise and their suggestions and their philosophy of what they think is important. And we encourage you to listen and take what resonates with you, and if it resonates with you, to buy the products and find out about the services of the guests that we have here on the Wellness Journey. They are a wealth of knowledge, and we're just always so glad to have them on our show. Before we get to our wonderful guests that we have today, I wanted to share with you a few things. You know, I always like to talk about what's going on in the world of PraiseWorks. And what's going on right now, quite frankly, is that we are getting ready for an exciting year coming up. As you know, we have our annual cruise, and that's going to be in September of 2013. So I don't know when you're going to be listening to this broadcast, but if it's before September of 2013, go to our website, www.praiseworks.biz, and find out about PraiseWorks Journey to Wellness, the Alive Booth. We are so excited. We are going to have probably up to 100 rooms reserved. So if you're interested, take a look at our early bird specials that we're going to be having, and we're putting together a wonderful list of health and wellness experts that are going to be speaking to you in person about things that you can do to get healthy and how you can get fit, and also how you can address having a spiritual awakening and uplift. So it's going to be a wonderful 7-day, 6-night cruise. So stay tuned for that. Also, 2013, in April of 2013, start finding out about our PraiseWorks Walk for Wellness in major cities all across the country. We will be walking for wellness and giving the proceeds to a local charity of the group's choice. Tune into PraiseWorks, go to our website, and find out information about when the actual walk is going to be. And you can also go online and get a kit for your group so that you can have all the information on how to put together a PraiseWorks Walk for Wellness. We're very excited about that. Also, want to remind you that you're listening to the Wellness Journey, but we also have another show, the Wellness Journey Live, which is on the Women for Women's Network. That always goes live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you get a chance to talk with the experts live and ask them questions about their particular field of expertise. And also, don't forget to tune into the Wellness Zone on the Your Redeemed Network. The Wellness Zone is a show on health and wellness from an urban perspective. So it's especially for people who are 35 and under, talking about their particular health concerns that they have in that particular age range. So we have something for everyone at PraiseWorks, and I'm very excited about how we are growing. And please, make sure you tell a friend. If you like the broadcast, tell a friend, forward the link to them so they can get a chance to listen to the show, because we are growing and we want to grow further, because you know my ultimate goal is to put the Wellness Journey on television, and I believe that it will happen in 2013, but it can't happen without your support. So please make sure you forward the links to the Wellness Journey, let people know about our website. And I haven't talked about it too much, but we will be rolling out a new program. In fact, by the time you listen to this, the program would have been rolled, so to speak, and that is Body Love. Body Love is an image coaching program that has to do with loving your body as it is, so that you can go forward to loving your body to a place where it will be even more healthier than it might be right now. It's a different kind of concept in terms of getting fit and losing weight. And if you want to find out more about that, go to the coaching tab on the menu of www.praiseworks.biz, and there you'll find some information about Body Love. We coach women in groups of 10, and it's all done virtually, and we've gotten some wonderful feedback. So to find out more about that, go to our website. And don't forget to take a look at our shopping section there. You can purchase online many of the books that are talked about on the Wellness Journey. Many of our guests have books that they've written, as you know, and you can purchase them in some cases directly from us. So please go to our website and take a look at our shopping area there, where you can find out about the books and the other services that PraiseWorks offers. So I'm through with all my plugs. Don't do it that often, but I thought, this is my show, so I might as well take the opportunity to let you know all the things that are going on with PraiseWorks. And when we get back from the break, we are going to be talking with Katrina from the United Kingdom. We're an international show. That's what I love about the Wellness Journey. We get the chance to talk with people from all over the globe. And today we're going to be visiting Katrina in the United Kingdom when we get back. This is Lynnis from PraiseWorks, and we'll see you in just a moment. Are you suffering from neck and back pain, joint pain, complications from PMS, stomach problems and headaches? Do you feel tense and stressed? Forever Green Essential Oils is the answer for you. Essential oils are sourced from herbs, spices, seeds, flowers, and plants. Essential oils have proven their medicinal and healing qualities for hundreds of years. In the Bible, essential oils are referenced many times and were used for healing purposes. Forever Green Essential Oils produces one of the most pristine, organic, and therapeutic oils in the world. There are an array of oils that will address many of the health problems that you might currently be taking pharmaceuticals for. To find out more about these wonderful essential oils and how they can help you, contact us for more information at oilsessential@ymail.com. That's oilsessential@ymail.com. Or give us a call at 916-706-7565, and we will be glad to give you a free assessment on how Forever Green Essential Oils can aid you along your journey to total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit. Forever Green Essential Oils, one of the best organic and therapeutic grade oils in the world. Hi, this is Lynnis from PraiseWorks, and welcome back to the show. If you're just now tuning in, we have with us Katrina from the United Kingdom. Katrina loves Senn, and she is a Hatha yoga teacher and also a healer, and has written a wonderful book, Losing Weight is a Healing Journey, a Woman's Guide to Losing Weight Naturally. And I have to tell you that I was first attracted to Katrina's story and her book because of the title, Losing Weight Naturally. I thought, wow, this is great. This is right within, the kind of things that I like to think about, and finding ways to help our bodies be fit in a natural way without taking pills and surgeries and all this kind of stuff. So we are so glad to have her. Katrina, are you there?
Hi, Lynnis. I'm here.
Hi, hello. Welcome to the Wellness Journey. We are so glad to have you.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
As is tradition at the Wellness Journey, I always ask our guests to kind of tell us a little bit about their story. rather than me tell it. You can tell it so much better, about how you came to get healthy naturally, and basically how you decided to become a yoga teacher and healer. And basically, what is your story? How did this all happen?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. It's great to be here. Well, it's interesting. I'm somebody that absolutely loved food, and when I was growing up, a lot of my childhood memories are of experimenting in the kitchen and making different recipes. And I really, even from a young child, just dreamed of cooking and perhaps one day being a chef. And on the same side of that, as much as I love food, over time I learned that I really hated exercise. And so as a young girl growing up with this passion for food and just no real desire to run or to do any form of exercise in the traditional way, very quickly as I was growing through my teenage years, I started to put on weight. And at first it wasn't something that bothered me, but as I got older and I became more sensitive to other people's comments, I started to notice the relationship with myself, and over time, over the years, I really started to become quite disconnected from my body, and I started to really create an unhealthy relationship with my body. And so it wasn't long before I thought, well, I've got to do something about this. And so then began my journey of dieting, and it was just such a cycle of pain, gearing myself up for the next diet. And, you know, I used to say things to myself, Lynnis, like, okay, the diet starts Monday, and I'd mentally prepare myself for this terrible event. And, you know, I tried all the different diets, and within a few years, I just found not only was I not losing weight, but to my horror, I'd actually started to put on even more weight. And it got to a point where I pretty much had to resign myself to the fact that I was just not going to lose weight on dieting. I thought that I was weak-willed. I thought that I just wasn't capable of staying on a diet. And I pretty much just gave up on the idea of dieting and resigned myself to just being overweight for perhaps the rest of my life even though it wasn't what I really wanted. And so I kind of moved into a place of surrender, but I still had, I guess, over those years, created this unhealthy relationship with myself and my body. And I found that I used to criticize myself, and you know, dieting is such a cycle of self-abuse and all the guilt and the shame and the self-disgust that went along with it. But then fast forward a couple of years, and it was actually just a few days before my 20th birthday, and I was overseas at a conference, and it was on the day that I was to present. And I remember waking up in a hotel room, and to my horror, I realized I couldn't even open my eyes. My body wouldn't move. I tried to will my body to move. I tried to will everything to start working, and nothing did. And it wasn't long before the doctors came to see me, and because I was overseas, they pretty much put me on a plane back home immediately. My mum came and collected me from the airport and took me to doctors back home. And they started to run all these different types of tests to see what was wrong with my body. And I think many of us probably come into the health field through our own health crisis, and that was certainly how I came into learning a lot more about health and well-being through my own body breakdown. And the doctors really at this stage, and it's all I could do, was sleep. And I just had absolutely no energy. Eventually movement started to come back to my body, but I couldn't do anything at all. And the doctors ran all the tests, and they didn't really know what was wrong with me. All the tests were abnormal. My glucose tests were abnormal, my thyroid, my adrenals, everything was out, but they didn't know specifically what that meant and how to treat me. But what they did suggest was that I took some experimental medication. And when they said that, an alarm bell started to ring in my mind, because I thought, well, if you don't know what's wrong with me, how can you
right.
give me an answer?
They're getting ready to make you into a medical guinea pig, huh?
Exactly. And I had suffered with asthma and eczema all through my teenage years. So I knew through that system that more pills and more medication just led to stronger and stronger drugs and steroids. So I'd kind of lost a lot of faith in treating body disorders with pharmaceutical and prescription medication. And so something within me, it was like an inner voice. It was like something in my heart just said, no, there is another way. And when I spoke to my mum, she was really supportive, and she said, look, if you don't want to take the medication, I totally understand, and we'll work together to find, perhaps a different solution. And so it was like a huge doorway began to open, because I felt terrified and excited both at the same time. Terrified because I had absolutely no idea of if I was even able to find something that was going to help me, but also excited because this internal voice, it was like it was encouraging me on a journey. Mm-hmm. And
that's interesting that you talked about the voice encouraging you along the journey, because I know much of your philosophy has to do with the inner wisdom that the body tells you. And I'm looking at this picture of you before and after, and it is absolutely amazing. Listeners, you have to go to her website, and we'll give you the URL for that in a moment. But at one time, you were 196 pounds.
Absolutely.
And you lost over 60 pounds.
Yeah.
And you have stabilized at 134 pounds. You look like a different person, actually. You look like a totally different person. And you said that you gained more energy, and you healed your body of disease. And what was the beginning aha moment for you to begin to maybe get away from the traditional means through dieting and through listening to traditional medical doctors? What was your aha moment to try something else?
Well, I think because I had seen with my own journey around asthma, when I'd just gone from my Ventolin inhalers onto stronger and stronger medication, right up to the strongest type of steroids that were available. For chronic disease, the Western medicine were unable to really help in my case. And so I just didn't feel like it was pills and medication that were the answer. I felt like my body was trying to give me a message. And what I've come to understand is that when we move out of balance, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally out of balance, then we start to create symptoms. And being overweight or being sick is a symptom of something being out of balance and wanting to come back into alignment. And so my real aha moment was when I met an amazing naturopath, and she explained to me about the power of food and how food can really help to heal us, as well as food having the power to harm us. And it was a real aha moment, because I'd read all the diet books, and I knew about counting calories, and I knew about portion control, and I didn't feel like that resonated with me at a deeper level. But when my naturopath started talking about food and how food can heal the body and food can harm the body, that made sense to me. And she started to explain that when we eat food that the body can recognize, and I call this real food, as food that comes from nature.
Yeah, that's interesting. I saw that. Tell us, what is real food in your opinion? What's real food?
So I call real food that has either come from nature or is as close to nature as possible for us. And so when we're eating food that is real food, it's food that the body understands. So it's, for example, it's like us going perhaps to China and speaking Chinese. And if we start speaking in the native tongue, people around us, the local people, will start to be able to understand us. But if we started speaking in our own language, people might look at us strangely and be like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what they're talking about. So real food is really speaking the language of our body, because our bodies are so intelligent, they're so smart, there is so much wisdom in our bodies. And my belief, my understanding is that our bodies always want to be healthy. And when we start to display symptoms of disease, then it's almost like a red flag is being waved to us to say, hello, something's out of balance. Either you're working too hard, or you're not giving me the right amount of food, or I need you to address something in your life. And it may be a holistic message. It may be physical, it may be mental, or it may be emotional. And for each of us. And
in fact, I wanted to talk about that in terms of it maybe being emotional. A lot of people don't realize how much stress contributes to the breakdown of our body processes and just the breakdown of our overall wellness over a period of time. And a lot of other folks also don't understand that many times your weight gain and your overall general health may be more tied to something that's going on with you emotionally, and that is why you feel the need to self-medicate with food and other things that aren't good for you. And many times it starts, as you said, with the spiritual connection. Explain to us a little bit about that, because on your blog you have a great article that says, "Stop stressing and start healing." What is that all about? What's the basis for that?
Yeah, so I think the way that I really like to work with this whole issue around food is to move away from guilt and to move away from shame, and just to start observing and noticing the way that we're living our life. So if we're opting or choosing or wanting or desiring specific types of foods, maybe high sugar foods or foods that perhaps not necessarily taking us forward in our health journey. Just starting to observe that desire, and when we can start to notice when we're desiring those foods, and it may be food, it may even be cigarettes, it may be drink, any kind of stimulant in your life is taking you out of that place of healing or out of balance, let's say. And so when we're...
Oh, okay. So I have a question for you. In terms of any stimulant and bringing you out of balance. Where does coffee fall into all of that? How does that, caffeine in general, how does that impact our body's balance and the healing process?
That's a great question. Well, I think the way that I really have come to understand that through my own experiences enjoying coffee and also working with a number of clients over the years is there's two different types of relationship with coffee. The first is just wanting or having a desire for a coffee, one coffee. And once you have your coffee, that's it. It's like once you've had your coffee, you're fine. But it's when that desire continues throughout the day. One thing that I have come to understand of coffee is that coffee starts to speed us up. So it starts to bring energy into our body, it brings energy to our mind, and it's almost like too much coffee can start to drain the adrenals. It can be very exhausting on our bodies internally. So one thing that we can start to bring that in with the emotions is looking at bringing more excitement into our life. Because often when we're just having coffee, it might be that we're just trying to bring some energy, bring some joy, bring some passion into our life. And it may also be that your higher self is calling you to actually start to step up in your life and start to create more challenge, start to really put yourself out more into the world. It's almost like you're being called to shine your light brighter. It's almost like if people are drinking coffee or alcohol, or it's almost like it's a dimming of the light, or it's a dulling of the senses in many ways. So the way that I really like to think of... What was it, sorry?
I'm sorry, I was going to say it's really a form of self-medication. I like what you said about the fact that maybe some of the reasons why people might crave that coffee in the morning is, or in different parts of the day, is that they are lacking stimulation themselves in some ways. And let me ask you this, because I thought it was interesting. On your blog, you talked about the 5 healthy habits that you need to know. What are those?
I can't actually remember exactly the ones that I put, but I would say if I was in this moment, the 5 healthy habits that I would really recommend that people who are stepping onto the healing journey right now would be, the first thing is to absolutely stop dieting and start to really release that whole mindset of dieting, because it's an indoctrination, it's a program, it's conditioned into us. You only need to turn on the television or look at a new magazine, look at, a billboard, advertising, it's all around us. And so give yourself permission to break free of that program and start to really step into your own authority. When I'm teaching yoga, I always share with my students that the guru always lives within. And so really starting to, so the second habit would be to start trusting that inner voice, because you know what you need to do. But it's like, how do we listen to that voice? How do we trust it? And I like to think of it like a muscle. So start to build that internal muscle, because if you ask different people how you should live your life, everyone will give you a different answer, but you're the one that needs to live your life. And when I was younger, I was working in a job that I didn't really enjoy, and this inner voice, I didn't enjoy my job, and this inner voice kept saying, just leave. And then the sensible voice inside me would say, but you need the money, you need to be responsible, you need to stay for a certain number of years to make it look good on your CV. And then the voice would come and go, just get out of here. Go traveling, go to art school, do the things that bring joy and happiness and aliveness back into your life. And so really building that muscle and connection to your intuition would be the second one. The third healthy habit that I really encourage people to do, which I think is a lovely one, is to start clearing clutter. And the reason that I say that is because every single thing that we own, all of our possessions, have an energetic connection to us. And so if we have a lot of paperwork covering our desk, it's almost like that energy is just pushed down. It's so much, clutter around us makes clutter in our mind, so we can't see the wood for the trees. And often clearing clutter is a very, it's almost like it's an easy way to start the healing process, because it's a very gentle way. And you can start small. You can just start clearing a small space on your desk, or a small space in your car, or a small cupboard. And then it's amazing as you start to clear energetically the space around us, how much more energy becomes available in our lives.
Now, I'm sorry, I blanked out a little bit there in the reception. We should put a small what in our car?
Oh, I just said, just even clearing, if you have clutter in your car, even clearing, just clearing space in our lives. Because as they start to
clearing the space in our lives. Yes. I agree with that so much, Katrina. I have this thing that I do in the mornings, and I've been doing it just recently for the last few weeks or so. Sometimes I'll get out of bed, and I won't make up my bed. And I'll go straight to my prayer room, which is my prayer room office, and start my day. But now what I do is I get up, and I totally make up my bed and set things in order, so that when I return to my bedroom much later on during the day, there's kind of a feeling, and it just kind of releases instead of returning to clutter. And the same thing in my prayer room. My prayer room has now a much more sense of organization. I like to see my children's pictures around me and my affirmations, and I have all these things on the wall. That's fine. But I have to have my desk clear somewhat. The pictures are in a certain order. Now, I do not have ODC, I promise you, I don't have that. But I'm not compulsive. But I need to have a clearing of that space, and I can tell when there's too much in there, I have to clear it out, because it gets to be overwhelming for me. And once I've done that, then it's kind of like I feel refreshed, actually, and I do feel more energy. So I agree with you. I think that's an excellent suggestion.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Another one you mentioned was liver detox. Why is having a liver detox important, and how do we go about getting a liver detox?
Oh, sorry, Lynnis, you just broke up. What was that?
I said another one that you mentioned was a liver detox.
Yeah.
Why is a liver detox important, and how can we go about getting a liver detox?
Yeah, so my fourth one is the liver detox, and I think that's such a great one as well because it really just starts to bring energy back to our liver. Our liver it's almost like it's a powerhouse of energy for your body, and it's almost like you could choose any organ to start clearing, but the reason I like to work with the liver is that your liver is responsible for clearing and detoxifying every single thing in your life. So the food that you eat, the water and the drink, any liquids that you drink are filtered by the liver, as well as the thoughts that you think. So any toxicity, even in our internal world, is filtered by the liver. So one of the healthy habits that I really recommend is having a liver detox. And there are lots of different ways that you can do this. A couple of my favorites are through eating real food. So you can just start by just getting rid of, I call it junk food in your diet. But if that's too radical for you, then start to have a look around and getting some support on different types of liver detoxes, because there's one that's a 24-hour one, been made famous by Andreas Moritz, which you can find out. You can buy his book, and there's a protocol that he speaks about. That one's been around for many, many years. But you can even do simple things like start to bring apple cider vinegar into your diet. So the way that I'd recommend someone bring apple cider vinegar is just make sure that you buy the organic apple cider vinegar, and it's quite cloudy. It's usually be in a dark glass bottle. Keep it in the fridge because you want to keep it alive, and have 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar every single day, and it starts to create a different internal environment for your body. So you start to shift it, and especially if you've found yourself in a period of eating a lot of sugary foods or acidic foods, you know, all the nasties of our bodies start to really love that kind of food. They really thrive in it. So we want to make sure that we start to shift that environment and create more of an alkalizing environment within our bodies, and then that starts to shift our internal terrain. So when we have a liver detox, it just starts to release all the gallstones in the body. And as a yoga teacher, what I notice is when people do a liver detox, it's amazing how much more flexibility that their body starts to exhibit. And I find that fascinating because I have come to understand that it's not just about doing yoga or stretching or moving the body for flexibility. It's about having a healthy internal world. And
yes,
liver detox.
I have a really good recipe for liver detox that comes from the lemon oil essence.
Okay, yeah.
And putting the lemon oil, in warm water and drinking that. In fact, I have a wonderful book about oils from someone that we both know, because essential oils are so essential in terms of really getting your body well. I have Lorraine Davis's Nature's Pharmacy, which is a great, great book to get that has all kinds of information on how to use the oils, and there is actually a couple of recipes on liver detox in terms of using the essence of lemon oils. The other thing that you talk about on your blog are the must-haves for a health-conscious kitchen. And on your blog, I see a picture of you, and I am drinking something that you made, and I'm thinking, wow, all the way in the United Kingdom, and here we are. I'm in California, and you were in the United Kingdom drinking a green smoothie. I drink these every morning, a green smoothie, every morning. Actually, twice a day is what it's. The green smoothie is my breakfast, and then I drink it again for lunch, along with probably some salmon and some brown rice and more green stuff or something. But I love my green smoothies. But so I would imagine one of the things you got to have is a blender in your home. Yeah. What else should we have in our kitchens?
Yeah, so with the blender, there'd be two. I would recommend two different types for you to check out. Start with one called a Magic Bullet, and this is actually quite a small blender, which is fantastic for really quickly making up smoothies or making up dips and sauces, things like that as well. And it's very small, so it's compact. You can even travel with it because it's so light. But another blender that I would recommend is the Vitamix, and that you may have come across. They make the best green smoothies ever because they blend up the greens so finely. The motor is very, very powerful, and literally it can make anything, even up to nut butters and ice cream, including hot soups as well. So a Vitamix is not just a blender. I almost consider it's almost like a whole kitchen facility because it can do so much. So some form of blender is definitely one of the first items you're going to need. I recommend a juicer as well, and you don't have to go out and spend lots of money on a juicer. I just say, often people say to me, which is the best juicer to buy? And for me, the best juicer is the juicer that you will use. So if it's just a one of those sort of more basic juicers, but you find it easy enough to clean and it's fast enough and it does the job, so long as you use it, that's the best blender. It's the best juicer that you can buy. So I know lots of people.
It's interesting because I have a couple of them, and I love my juicers. But there's one thing about my juicers I don't like: cleaning them. Yeah. It is a labor of love. I keep saying to myself, okay, I'm using this juicer because it's good for my body, and cleaning it is part of what I have to do in order to make sure that I keep my body in good condition so I can use my juicer again. But that's the only thing is cleaning it. But there's nothing to replace the feeling of wheatgrass in the morning or fresh carrot juice with apple juice in the morning. Those are wonderful ways to start your day. And so I guess the idea of having to clean it the benefits far outweigh the idea that, oh gosh, I got to clean my juicer. Something else you mentioned that I thought was really cool was the vegetable spiralizer.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have one of those, but I know what it is. Explain to our listeners what that is.
Yeah, it's a fantastic piece of equipment, and it's really good, especially if you are wanting to bring more vegetables into your diet and into your life. And so it's basically it brings what I use mine for is you can use it to make salads, and you can also use it to make pasta out of vegetables. So it's a great way if you're looking to kind of either reduce or eliminate wheat in your diet. And really you can get like a zucchini or courgette and just chop off the ends, and basically you put it into, oh gosh, it's hard to explain. Basically it sits on your bench, and there's a handle on it, and you put the courgette, you wedge it into a certain kind of space in the machine, and there's a handle, and you just wind the handle around and around and around.
Wow.
And then it creates all these beautiful spirals of pasta, and then you can just pop on any kind of raw sauce. If you like peppers, you can make a beautiful like red pepper sauce. If you like tomatoes,
okay, I'm getting one. I'm getting one.
It's really great.
Just the way you're describing it, I'm getting one. This is what's missing in my kitchen, and I'm getting one. I know the idea is if I bring one more apparatus into my kitchen, there's going to be an uprising. But I'm sorry, I have to add the vegetable spiralizer. That sounds so neat.
Yeah,
I have a pasta maker, but I don't use it because it's such a bear. And plus, I'm also trying to cut down on my pasta intake, but that's a whole other story. But with the vegetable spiralizer, I will make an exception.
You can make lunches, you can quickly make dinners, and you know you can even make your vegetables. You can do it out of carrots, you can do it out of beetroot, any kind of hard root vegetable is great, turnips, anything like that. And then you can just even pop it in like a container, and then it's almost like a ready-made meal for the next day if you like. So
wow,
it's
that's
great.
fantastic. That's fantastic. And there's another thing on here. Of course, you talk about water filters, and I think we all understand the importance of that. But a composite bin, I love that because it's such an eco-friendly suggestion for the kitchen, and it's such a commonsensical thing that we probably just don't think about. Explain to our listeners what a composite bin is. I'm assuming they might know, but just in case, what is it? Why is a composite bin important to have, and what is it?
Yeah, well, it's so important, because if you are using a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables, you'll find that you start to have a lot of leftover skins and pulp left over from your juicer, and it almost feels painful to throw it out because it's obviously just going into landfill. And really, this is just nature's way of recycling. And so when we're taking it, when you're taking out your pulp from perhaps your fresh juice in the morning, you can collect your compost, create a little bin once you get like enough compost. You can start to reuse it. And so if you have a garden, you can start to put the your food scraps onto your garden, and that starts to create like a really rich fertilizer for anything else that you're growing in the ground. If you don't have a garden, if you are able to collect organic or as much free from sprays and pesticides as you can, and then give it to anyone at your farmer's market or anyone who's growing fruits and vegetables, they will absolutely be so grateful, because it's just a great way from nature to start to recycle everything. And when we look to nature, she is so abundant, and there is so much wisdom in the way that nature grows. And so even say from a banana skin or from the peel of an apple core or anything like that, if you plant the apple core back into the ground, those seeds start to just grow another apple tree again in the future. So it's just a way just to keep reusing everything and start to cut back on waste. And, especially in today's society, we live in such a consumption society where we've sort of moved so far away. And so it just brings us back to centre. And the more that we can live in balance and in centre with ourselves and with nature, then the more conscious that we are physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually. So I think it's really important just to really keep reusing and just allowing the scraps to become actually fertilizer for tomorrow's food.
I just love that. In fact, everyone, I think that Katrina's blog is officially one of my most favorite blogs. And one of the reasons is because you get to see all kinds of pictures of her and her natural habitat, her home, this beautiful Victorian home along the sea. I'm sure, listeners, you can hear seagulls in the background and water in the background. No, she does not live on a bird farm. She lives you live right next to the sea, correct?
Yeah, right next to the sea. And today, here in the UK, it's sort of coming on to the evening, and it's we've got the most beautiful day. The sun's out, and so I'll be straight down to the beach for a swim after this. But we live right on the beach. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. It must be beautiful. And you have a Victorian-style home there?
Yeah, so we used to live in Malibu, actually, and we were there for a couple of years, and then we had a feeling that we wanted to move back to the UK. I'm originally from New Zealand, and my husband's originally from Australia, but we felt drawn to the UK, and but we didn't want to live in London after having been in the city for so many years. And actually, he had a dream that we were living by the sea, and when he said that, we were like, oh my gosh, that sounds perfect, let's move to the coast. And it's a great little microclimate here as well, so we get lots of sunshine, but it's great because we still get to travel internationally, so I feel very good.
That is wonderful. I mean, I really, just listening to the seagulls, I'm closing my eyes and I'm there. My form of listening to the ocean is a station on Pandora that I put on my iPhone at night.
Right.
And I can listen to the waves and all that. And I'm almost like being there, but not quite. The smells and the visual thing is just automatically relaxing. And we didn't get a chance to talk too much about this, but I want you all to know that she teaches yoga. In fact, you give retreats. You have one coming up September 10th through the 17th in Turkey. Tell us a little bit about your retreats.
Yeah, so I run yoga and detox healing retreats, and I choose beautiful places all around the world, and it's just a lovely break to get away from all the distractions of our everyday life and to take some time to really reconnect back to our bodies, bring the mind and our bodies back together, and to find the internal quietness and stillness, and really start to listen to the thoughts and the ideas that are living within us and that want to be expressed in the world. And so it's a great place to really reconnect with our dreams and to visualize and allow that energy to come through in a more connected way without the distraction of television and work and family and expectations and all those things that go on in everyday life. So this retreat is actually going to be in a valley surrounded by nature, but then we're also going to be quite close to the sea as well. So it'd be nice just to be able to swim in the sea and be breathing in the fresh, healthy air, but also ground everything through the physical yoga practice. And the one thing that I'm really looking forward to is eating all the yummy Turkish food. So, so really,
yes, wow, you can do yoga during the day and work out, and then refill yourself up, and then work out again the next day.
Exactly.
It has wonderful having you on. I've learned so much within a short period of time, truly, and I would love to put some of your articles on the PraiseWorks blog with your permission, because I think it's just really some interesting information, and I like the way it's done in the pictures, and of course we'll give you full credit for it, and we'll just link right back to your website, but I would like to bring more Americans that are listening into the Katrina Love way of living life. It's just a beautiful concept and such a spiritual and energizing at the same way concept of living life. If people want to find out more about how to get in touch with you and also how to order your book, please give us the information on how they can order your book. And, of course, you have a cookbook, and you also have this wonderful book, Losing Weight is a Healing Journey. And if you could tell us, how can people get that information?
Yeah, so if you go to my website, which is www.katrinaLoveSenn, Katrina, love, Love, Senn, SENN.com. There you'll find my blog, which I write and put up regular articles, and also my book, Losing Weight is a Healing Journey. It's available there and also on Amazon.co.uk and Amazon.com, and you can also get it in a Kindle version now as well. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad, or computer, you can just download it straight to your computer. So I think that's pretty cool. And also my recipe book, 50 Fast and Fabulous Recipes, which is available as an ebook, and you can get that on the website. So that's somewhere. And also I'm really active on all the different types of social media, so you can connect with me on Facebook and Twitter. And I also am a featured expert on mindbodygreen.com, Elephant Journal, and Finer Minds. So you can find me there. But even if you go to my website, you'll be able to find links to all those different places that I write for.
Okay, fantastic. So you can find Katrina. The main place, if you go to her website, then you will find all the other connections to her, which tell you about her books, her yoga classes, her retreats, her videos, and how to contact her directly. You can follow her on Twitter and on Google+. And her website, again, is www.KatrinaLoveSenn. It's KatrinaLoveSenn.com, SENN. It's Katrina, KatrinaLoveSenn.com. Katrina, thank you for being on this show. I could talk to you for another hour. We didn't even get a chance to talk about the whole yoga thing, but I have to tell you that I do my morning asana every morning. I roll out of bed, I do asana. That's kind of the thing, you know. I roll out of bed, I do my asana, then I make up my bed, do my green smoothie, and you know what? I drink lemon water about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning, right before I wake up in the morning. I've been doing that for years. I saw that, and I thought, there's something else we have in common. Thank you so much for being on the wellness journey. There's so much information. And we hope to have you on again. You know, we have another version, the Wellness Journey Live, and I'd love to have you come on so that some of our listeners can ask you some questions directly. That would be wonderful.
Really great.
Well, thanks so much, Katrina. All right. Thanks again for being on the wellness journey. Wow, I can't believe the time has gone by so fast. You're welcome. But that's what happens when we have a great guest like Katrina. Time goes by so very fast. Again, if you want to find out more about Katrina, her books and her services and her retreats, which are awesome, you want to do a little bit of traveling and go to an awesome retreat, I would say that Katrina is the person that you definitely want to book with. Again, her website is Katrina Loves Senn, SkatrinaLovesenn.com. And Katrina specializes in natural health, healing, and yoga. So you can learn much from her, and I hope that you will purchase her book, take a look at her videos, and just find out all about the different things that she does. Again, thank you for tuning into the Wellness Journey. I cannot believe the time goes by so quickly, and perhaps it goes by so quickly because I learned just as much from my guests as I hope all of you do. And please remember that as you are along your journey for wellness, that along that way you're going to get a chance to learn so many things about yourself, and as long as you remain open, the Creator will send to you information. Some of it will be just for you, or perhaps it's for a loved one, but it's all good because it all has to do with what's best for your mind, body, and spirit. Remember, our goal is to help you approach total wellness, and you can't do that if your mind is out of whack, or your spirit is downtrodden, and your body is out of shape. So keep listening to our broadcast, The Wellness Journey, and also go to our website and find out more about how you can approach total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit. This is Lynnis from PraiseWorks, and we will see you again next time.
Thank you for joining us on the Wellness Journey. We hope that you have enjoyed our show and look forward to the opportunity to share with you again information that will help you along your journey to total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit.